end, and now a big long dot at the end.
And now, live from the CQ party, it's Ham Nation.
You're off by 3 killers.
Oh wow, sunshine! I can't believe it. First time in all my years at Dayton, the sun is going to shine all 3 days. Okay. All right, John, looks like quite a collection of tubes. How long have you been collecting tubes?
23 years.
23 years. Can you tell us a little bit about the tubes? So I'm going to give you the mic and you can give us a tube tour.
A tube tour. These are just a large assortment of different transmitting tubes made probably from the 1930s through about the 1950s.
Wow.
Some of the little receiving tubes, like the little ones here, are earlier from the 1920s. They have little tip tops on them where they used to draw out the vacuum from the top of the tube. But, most of these are transmitting tubes. You have some other things like a flash bulb from a camera, which is odd, but it's kind of a unique thing to put here. Ballast tubes and dummy load antenna tubes, but it's just a kind of a unique assortment of different transmitting tubes.
That's you, Julian. You can put that on your next vehicle. You'll be rolling. Come over here. Only in Dayton is the honor system. Place cash here. 1 ring-a-dingy, 2 ding-a-ringies. I wonder if this does 9, 1, make it 915.
Could it be worth the buck?
Julian, look at this. Can you imagine when we shine up the brass what this is going to look like? One of the many finds at the Dayton Hamvention 2012.
Brighter.
And we've got military mass. Now tell us the difference between aluminum and fiberglass.
Okay. The fiberglass is lighter, okay? It doesn't hold as much weight. It can't handle as much weight. The aluminum is the stronger one. It's corn if you wanted a temporary setup or a permanent setup. Now the neat thing about them is they interlock. They will work together. So you could have, if you wanted to put up, say, a dipole, you could have this part being non-conductive and this part being your support down below. Okay? You could have, say, 2 of these and then 6 of these to go up 8 poles, which is about 40 feet.
Wow. Field day is coming up,
Yes,
right?
It is field day coming up, and I'm my club's field day chairman.
Ah.
So, so we will be using these as well as AB 577 mast and just whatever we can use.
Wow. So we're ready for field day. Yep. And for those of you on Ham Nation, we hope that you're ready for field day too. And if you need any masks, come out here and see Mike, a very outrageous person. N3
VOP.
VOP. Now, is there a technique to flipping those burgers for hams?
Burned.
Oh, without them burning. Okay, that's great. Yeah, your shirt's on fire, but no problem at all. John, K9 Whiskey Tango. Hi, John. What's that on the back of your back?
Well, this is a PRC 68B, which is a 1980s vintage military handheld radio that goes 30 to 88 megahertz in 2.5 kilohertz steps. It's preset in 10 channels and it runs about 2 watts FM.
It's important to always travel with a good-sized antenna mobile. K0GUV knows how to do it for Dayton Hamvention. Wow, what a vehicle. Michael, thanks for bringing all this. Looks like you're ready to uplink to the world, huh?
And in fact, we can do that.
This is good. This is the ICOM AT120, the 130 and the 140, and they are long wire antenna tuners, and of course half the antenna tuner circuit is the ground. What a lot of folks don't know is that the tabs that we mount the ICOM antenna tuner are not ground, but rather the ground bolt down here goes through a braid to the tab, and the tab affixes it there. So if you've got this tuner, make absolutely sure you don't mistake that this is above ground and that you need to ground from what you see right here is the wing nut to the chassis ground. And for you Collins lovers here at the Dayton Hamvention, we have you covered. Plenty of Collins gear, finest gear ever made back then, still used today, including the instruction manuals as well. At the Dayton Hamvention, there's no telling what you're going to find out here. Look at this. We're talking about a great war surplus receiver. And at the Dayton Hamvention, at the swap meet, if you find that you didn't get a good deal, you can always return it or else. A quarter wave antenna at its well, yeah, I guess a quarter wave at its best. This is wonderful. A good old ICOM 32AT with what I would say is a little bit more than a quarter wave antenna, right? On 75 meters, if you enjoy going up and down the band, you can now do it with a broadband dipole made out of, well, what do you make the dipoles out of?
Horse fence.
Horse fence?
That's right.
And
That's the reason we got the horse over there. With people ask me, what's this made for?
And
horse fence.
And how well do they work?
They work great. Got over 300 of them out there in 8 foreign countries and all over the United States.
Wow. And can you make the horse sound that goes along with a dipole?
Well, I was thinking about that last night in my videos. I need that horse nicker or something in there in the background, you know. That ought to do it.
Well, there goes another ham dropping with all the gear in his pocket. Yep, no problem here. We're here at Pneumatic Launchers. Next time you have a 200-foot tree and you need to launch an antenna wire over it, hams have home-brewed their own. K8 Uniform Hotel goes overboard on Mobile VHF. Take a look at that antenna. I mean, we're talking about phase dipoles. It's called a collinear array. The antenna on top, we have no idea, but it certainly looks impressive. And that's the whole idea at Dayton is you gotta impress them with big antennas. We're here with Mary, N8 DMM, and Mary has brought for sale, George, you're going to love this, the soldering iron. Now, this would be good for what, Mary?
Revenge on your cell phone.
So, George, next time you work on a cell phone, Mary's got just the soldering iron for you. And here's a good way to get up your 75-meter antenna here at Dayton, and that is balloon antenna.
Live and direct from Dayton.
Just in case there's a widespread emergency, we are here with every radiation monitor known to mankind. And check this out, an original Gonset Goonie bird. Is that great? The best. How long you been collecting all this stuff, ready to sell it?
About 3 years. I don't really collect it though. Although I do have hundreds of different units.
Wow. And are these working radiation monitors?
Yes, all of these on this table are working.
All right. Is there any cause for concern that they're all going off right now?
No, none at all.
Ward and Nancy, we see them at Quartz Fest, but now we catch them at Dayton 2012. Now, look at all of these great buttons. What did you find exciting here at the show?
I love the park and swap. I love to run around out here.
And just get stuff, right?
Yeah, let him get stuff.
Oh, you got to carry the stuff. Ward, how long have you both been doing Dayton?
It's our 10th year.
Wow, is this a huge one this year, huh?
Yeah, it seems bigger this year. Does to me.
And we've got sunlight. Is that amazing?
We've got sun.
All right. You want to say anything about Quartz Fest for next year?
Come on out, operate W7Q.
And you bet. And thanks for putting up that big antenna, making Quartz Fest happen. Dayton 2012. Well, we asked John to bring his Tesla coils, and John, you outdid yourself. Now, how far is that going to throw an arc when it gets going?
Well, I have a coil at home that I built with my son for a high school project, and it's very similar to this one. And it puts out a spark about 18 inches.
Oh, wow, that'll make everyone's hair stand on end?
It sure will. My dogs take off when it's running, that's for sure.
Yes, I would say so. So thanks for bringing all of this great gear, because as instructors for ham radio, we love to keep the students on the edge of their seat, and this would do it, huh?
It sure does. It helps people understand resonance and induction. It's just a great learning tool.
Well, now do you build these yourself?
Yeah, I wound the coils at home, and it's kind of a tedious process getting that secondary wound, but it works out good.
Well, if ever you decide to go in the antenna business, I know a lot of folks would love to have that great coil.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Horse fence.